Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. This one I didn't read, I let it play because it's an audiobook and it's Some Kind of Wonderful by Giovanna Fletcher. You can see that, that's the front cover. And yeah, as I said, it's an audiobook, so it just meant that I could get on with things and just have it in my headphones and I just listened to it. So, because that was the best description of an audiobook in the world. Some Kind of Wonderful by Giovanna Fletcher, and it's read by Emily Atack, who I have actually worked with on a film before. Unabridged, it says the duration is 8 hours and 18 minutes to listen to. Because I'm a fast reader, I did speed it up slightly, so it was probably about 6.5 hours for me to listen to it. And it's in fiction, romance, contemporary, with a target audience of adults, which I definitely get because there is language and stuff in there. And it was released the 1st of December 2017. I enjoyed listening to this book. Emily Atack has a really nice voice to listen to. Does that sound really strange? I've got a weird relationship with audiobooks because I am so used to going into my own little world when I read a book and I hear my voice in my head, and then depending on descriptions and stuff I can put other voices into the book. I can put in celebrity voices if I want to. If I wanted to hear the book as read by Alan Rickman, I can do that in my head, and I'm aware not everybody can do that, but I can do that. So it is weird to listen to somebody else read a book and the way they read it compared to how I would probably read it. It's about a woman called Lizzie. It's all done from the point of view of Elizabeth, and it actually kind of reminded me the beginning of another book that I've read. I think it was called something like We Were on a Break, just because it starts off with them on holiday and Lizzie and Ian, and she's expecting him to pop the question. She's expecting him to propose, and she's kind of been prepared for it for a while. They've been together for about 10 years. And this is the holiday where she's just like, yeah, I think this is the time it's going to happen, you know. She is aware that he seems very nervous. Her friend seems to be aware that it's happening. And yeah, so she's just going through this holiday, just waiting for him to pop the question. And then on the night that it happens, it just seems to be all going wrong. Which is why it reminds me of the other book We Were on a Break, because it starts off with a proposal that goes horribly, horribly wrong. And in this case, just Ian gets blind drunk, starts to propose, and then comes out and says, actually, I don't want to propose to you, I don't think I want to marry you, and they just split. So it's mainly a book about Lizzie finding herself after dedicating 10 years to a relationship that's just fizzled out. And so you see her headspace throughout the entire breakup and relationship, and her trying to figure out, you know, was she who she was because of Ian, or, you know, was she changing herself for Ian, and whether she needs to find herself outside of the relationship. I haven't read the blurb yet for you, so I'll do that now. Lizzie and Ian have been a couple since their first date at university. Now, after celebrating a decade together, everyone thinks they're about to get engaged. A romantic escape to Dubai is the perfect moment, but instead of the proposal Lizzie hopes for, Ian reveals he's not sure he even wants her anymore. Lizzie is heartbroken, but through the tears she realises this is her chance to seize the opportunity she missed as Ian's other half. But what does she want? How much of her is really Lizzie, and how much was Ian's influence? Determined to discover who she is at heart, Lizzie sets out to rediscover the girl she was before, and in the meantime have a little fun. I think I listened to this over about a week. I was listening to it like while I was getting ready in the mornings. There was even a point where I started listening to it in the shower. I had my Bose speaker connected to my iPad, and then I'd bring the speaker into the bathroom so I could listen to it while I was in the shower. After doing that for a couple of chapters, I decided that I realised I wasn't paying attention as much when I was washing my hair, so I decided to stop bringing the book into the bathroom, and I just listened to it while I was getting ready in the morning, so like while I was drying my hair and doing my makeup and deciding what to get dressed into, that kind of thing. It says the genre is romance. I'm not so sure it is. Yes, there is a romance in there, but it's more of an afterthought than the main story. The main thing of it is Lizzie finding herself after the breakup, so I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially a long-term relationship. Admittedly, I've never had a relationship that's been 10 years. I think the longest relationship I had was about 6 months. So yeah, I can't identify with the long-term relationship breaking up, but I can relate with the breaking up and wondering if you just wasted a certain amount of time on somebody who wasn't right for you. It's a funny book. It's definitely a comedy. It's almost like a coming-of-age comedy. She's in her late 20s, I think she's like 27, 28, kind of at the beginning of the book, and she's finding herself. So it is kind of that coming-of-age thing, just in a different way, because it says on the blurb, you know, they've been a couple since their first day of university, so she grew up in the relationship, but she didn't really have a proper kind of this is me after uni kind of thing, because she didn't have that solo time after uni to really kind of discover herself. Because, I mean, university is a time of discovering yourself anyway, but if you meet someone on your first day at university and then you spend 10 years together, you've got that question mark of, did I have all the fun that I wanted to have at university? Did I have the fun that I wanted and needed when I left university? What I found interesting, that even though it was read by Emily Atack, I could hear Giovanna Fletcher in there, and this is coming from somebody who's watched G's YouTube channel for quite a while. I could hear her voice through it, even though it was read by Emily, and I'll admit I didn't watch. I'm not an I'm a Celeb fan, apologies to those who enjoy it, but I did hear that she had kind of a mama bear kind of personality while on it, like she was the mother of the group, and that's why people loved her, that's why people voted for her to win. As Emily was reading it, I could imagine G as the main character, so as it was being read, the movie in my mind had Giovanna Fletcher as Lizzie. Some of these, I say side stories, basically the way she finds herself after university, I mean, like she works as an interior decorator. She's discovering that side of herself and trying to figure out, is this where I want to be? This is what I love and I'm interested in, and do I want to carry on in this career? So you've got that question over there. You're looking at stuff that she said that she enjoyed while she was, when she was at school. She was like singing and stuff, and then she throws herself into an a cappella group. She's finding the stuff that she remembers enjoying, and she wants to try it again. And I like it as an empowering book for women. Well, not just women, but just anybody who comes out of a relationship and has that question mark over, did I change for them? Do I need to find myself again? Where am I? That's the big question that she has. Where am I? Whether that's in life, in terms of relationships, in terms of work and friendship and family. Where am I? And you see her relationship with her family and her friends, and them kind of helping her figure out what she wants to learn about herself. Does that make sense? But as you can tell, I really enjoyed this book. I think I definitely would have had a different relationship with it had I read it as opposed to listened to it. I don't know how much of a difference it would have made, but I know that when I can hold a book and I can, or like hold my iPad, when I can actually read the words on the page, it's just a very different experience than having like a radio play in your ear. This was a wonderful book called Some Kind of Wonderful by Giovanna Fletcher, about a woman just finding herself after a long-term relationship and just figuring out what she wants from life. But yeah, so I definitely say that people who like rom-coms will enjoy this book. Anything about people finding themselves, it's a bit of cheese, so if you like a good cheesy story, you'll enjoy this. It does touch on some LGBTQ themes. Some Kind of Wonderful by Giovanna Fletcher, their #1 best-selling author, as it says right in front of me, and this book was read by Emily Atack. That's some of my thoughts on the book. Hope you enjoyed. I've no idea what next week is going to be. Might be a song. That's Some Kind of Wonderful by Giovanna Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Debbie, and as I said before, I read a lot of books, and there are more books happening. I've got a book on my nightstand, and I've got a Stephen King book ready for me to start reading at some point. And also, I can't show it to you right now because you're currently on it, but for my birthday I got the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness. I read the first book last year, started reading the second book, and then I bought a new iPad and I lost the entire trilogy. To be honest, I think it was from near when it first came out. I managed to get the trilogy for free from Kindle, but yeah, it disappeared off the Kindle app when I got my new iPad. I have no idea how, but for my birthday my parents got me them, so I've got all three, but I think I'm just going to start book 2 from the beginning again. I'm hoping to do all 3 of the All Souls books in one video. Let's see if that works out. I just realised it's snowing again. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week with another video, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Now stay safe everybody, and if the snow goes on like this, I may have to go make another snowman. Mwah.